Okay, Living Art, 90.1 FM, KPFT in Houston, kpft.org. It's archived for your listening convenience. Alex, too, Michael Woodson. And now we're going to turn to some poets. They're with Transcendent Zero Press, and they are Dustin Pickering and ZMY. So welcome to Living Art.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure to be here, sir.
We spent a month or so trying to get you in here because of the fund drive. We had a hard time, but you have an event coming Saturday as well.
That's right.
So when you're done with the row houses, jump on over to the Last Concert Cafe, huh?
Right. It's Saturday, 6 p.m. and at Last Concert Cafe. We have 3 bands and also 3 poets, local acts to be jealous of. We've got Mystery Loves Company. They're known, Houston Press actually just voted them as one of the top emerging acts. And we also have Fear the Poet, and Ken Jones and Friends is the third. And the poets are all friends of mine who are very well respected in the community as poets. Alina Petrova and Kanan Ince, and also
Kellyanne Ellis.
Kellyanne Ellis, yes.
So this is not just a poetry reading.
No, it's also music.
We mix music and poetry. We have a few of these events each year. We call them shindigs.
Shindigs.
This one is Summer Shindig 2014.
Why shindig? Why do it this way? Sounds fun. I'm not criticizing it.
I started this at Avant Garden, and I think it was 2011. I think it's fun to bring poetry to a broader audience and mix the audience that's there for music. I tried it with a kind of punk rock show, and a lot of the people that showed up weren't interested in the poetry, so I thought, just bring in a little bit of kind of artsy folk, music and some independent rock instead of something like, that a lot of maybe teenagers or, less arty type people would like.
And we're now breaking this rave for a nice Emily Dickinson poem.
Yeah, poetry and music
Right.
go hand in hand for sure. I think a lot would agree.
Yeah.
How long are the readings versus the music performances?
I've assigned the 3 groups about 45 minutes, and the 3 poets about 10 minutes each.
And the bands are longer?
Yes.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And
seems like a good mix.
Oh yeah.
I'm just thinking of it, I guess, by my own aesthetics, but I think 20 minutes of poetry is a lot. 10, it seems about right for most people's ear.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
We started out with 15, but in this case 10 seems rather decent. It's also some of the usual time when whenever you go to a reading, they have you read 3 pieces, 10 minutes. It seems fairly reasonable in that case.
Anyway, I was going to talk about maybe chatter and noise behind poetry. I never felt that was inappropriate necessarily. I think most venues want you to pipe down and, totally fix. But if I were reading poetry, I'd just assume people kind of go about their business.
Right. When I hosted at Coffee Oasis, we found that sometimes the business itself would have to run a blender or something like that, and it was very noisy. But you kind of respect the venue for it providing a space. Mm. Same thing with people coming into a restaurant like Last Concert. I'm not going to try to get everybody to be quiet or anything. It's just go about your business.
I think that's interesting. I'm not saying there aren't times when I would, when people to listen or hope they'd want to listen, but
might catch a few people's ear. And we're charging $5 at the door, and there's a second show directly after our show. And if you come into ours and want to stay for theirs, the second show is normally $10, but they will deduct $5 from that, and so 2 shows for $10.
Yours is from 6 to 9:30.
Yes,
that's correct. Yes.
So tell us about, I guess the big deal is you launched this Transcendent Zero Press.
Yes, we started with Harbinger Asylum in 2010.
It's a quarterly magazine. There's one issue for each season. Sometimes it has a theme, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a poetry magazine that we've been featuring lately some art from various people. But I started that 2010, because I, recognized that the chances of being picked up by a Norton anthology or something like that for my own poetry was bad. So, I thought
I'm
getting
not
my
sure that's
poetry,
bad.
right? The chances of really being recognized without any kind of credential behind you were pretty slim. So, I wanted to do something for the poetry community, and I got involved with readings and whatnot around there in Houston.
So print versus electronic, you have both.
Yes, we have a blog, and we also have a print journal.
Just so they can see what they might be reading, or for people who want to submit, they want to see what type of poetry we publish before they go ahead and submit. You always need to read the submission guidelines, and that goes for any magazine or any print. It's universal.
Yes. Well, tell us more about Transcendent Zero Press.
We've published
.org.
Yes, that's our website, and we have published, and as it'll show on the site itself, we've published multiple books in the last few years, including Ken Jones's Mr. Karma and Marcy Eanes's Passion Zest. Both of those authors, we just did a show, a kickoff with them in March. And we went to 3 different venues and did a reading series with that.
And I noticed that you're linked to Amazon.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we sell through Amazon. CreateSpace, when when you automatically connect with them and they do the printing for your publication, they sell it on Amazon.
So that's no problem, really. But you have to use Creative Space?
It's called CreateSpace, and I think many different print-on-demand services will connect with Amazon. Some of them, I think, probably charge you, but CreateSpace is an Amazon
especially services like Lulu. They can cost a fortune just to buy your own book, like maybe $15 a pop. But CreateSpace, it's very efficient, and you can use that to get to Amazon quite quick.
And copyright issues? Do a lot of your writers even copyright?
I don't really worry about it too much. I don't think there's a chance of theft, but from what I understand, once you're in print and you can demonstrate that it's your work, if somebody steals from you, you pretty much have the leeway there.
I don't know, for me, like from my end, I mean, I still have some confidence issues with my work, but I'm still very like an overprotective wolf with all of my pups. Whether they're good or not, I'd still like to copyright them. And there are ways to do it for free. Sometimes it takes longer, but
is there? Okay, I know it's $35 a book or something like that.
I'm not really sure how the government agencies work, but I just trust that when I print a book, that once it's in print and it's electronic on the internet, that it's already pretty much copyrighted. It tells the date and everything.
There's a copylefting going on too, where you allow people to use the material for free, and then if they make money from it, then they've got to share the proceeds.
I haven't heard about that. That sounds like
copylefting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
there are different names for it. But if you copylefted, search, that gets you there. Well, speaking of your work, let's do a poem. What do you say,
Dustin?
Okay. I wrote this for a friend of mine. It's called I Need Someone to Cease My Soul Tears. I need someone to cease my soul tears. That specter has cried for decades. I've let the rivers flow until they met in the center of the garden. O Eden, once paradise proclaimed the heart as the navel of emotion, I knew love existed, just not for me. Then my sullen sulking drew its bright sword and light flooded my eyes. I saw the world as pure perfection in disguise. The worlds of conversationalists became meaningful. You, the one I cried for and sought in desperate dreaming, make my lamp grow brighter. From each person I sensed uniqueness after your gaze reached my eyes. All the world is veiled in dark peace until its scars are removed. Magic love, O deacon of old wisdom, O make her come alive. She knows me, and I have talked to her for years unknowingly, always honestly. She is my spirit animal and earthly desire. Her totem becomes my living art, and each door is closed, but I sense the life opening like a dream. Oh, make her come alive. My soul tears ceased in the darkness as the fiery night, as sharp scalpels remove my murderous impulses. Although I only fault my heart, for approaching too early a depth it could not comprehend. I will no longer cry in my soul. She is alive, beautifully alive, and our masks are bravely shorn piece by piece.
Lovely. That's Dustin Pickering. And then ZM Wise, 2 minutes.
All right. This is called Off the Window. It's an excerpt taken from a epic poem I wrote recently. The other side is forbidden content being dusted off the window. The other side is a white, blinding light with levitating cities. The other side is that first step into real worldhood. The other side is your addiction dissipating and truly being cleansed. The other side is a Jim Morrison cliché ready to be broken on through. The other side is a mountain of echoing proportions. Shout to hear yourself shout. The other side is that shoulder angel-devil conflict you share with your tripolar self. The other side is your flame of security, wishing you are well from paradise. The other side is a symbol of soft love and reassurance if there is no more room on the windowsill. You and I, flying on the stars. You and I, reaching the promised path. You and I, solving the world's relationship problems. Open the doors to the other side. What is your perception?
Couple of love poets. Nice. Or something like. Okay, we got 30 seconds, so why don't you mention your event at the Last Concert Cafe?
At Last Concert Cafe, Saturday, 6 p.m., all the way till 9:30, $5 at the door. We have 3 bands and also 3 poets. If you like both, come on out.
Poetry lives.
And poetry lives. The motto. Why do you choose that as a motto, real quick?
They may be too simple, but they're quite powerful words. Many people think poetry is dead, but it's a series of revivals, renewals, rebirths. We're scattered, but we can be found everywhere.
Sweet. Okay, we're going to close. Wally James is next with the Progressive Forum. Thanks for listening to Living Art.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next week, Palestinian art.